Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Tasneem. I'm the senior manager at 98 percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time we would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was I think the best part. Now, I really hope we have a very, very fruitful association with each one of them and XLR in future. We are really looking forward to have many more drives like this.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Sharma and I'm the Senior Project Manager for IT Department at 90th percentile. So today we were here for this IT bootcamp, right, this technical drive and at XLR. So it was a great experience and I would feel that the students, they are the freshers, right, but it doesn't seem like that. So if I talk about their technical and cognitive ability, they all seems pretty good in that and that's what I felt. And I guess they have been taught pretty well at XLR, so that's how they have performed good in their aptitude and the technical tests. So I wish them all the best and it was a very great experience over here.
manager from 98th percentile. We visited XLR for the campus placement drive and it went very well today. Miss Ambika, Miss Pragati, everyone received us greatly here and we had a lot of enjoyable time here. The students even had great experience with us. They were interactive, they had good aptitude and all the technological skills they showed. I think they were all well and we really appreciate their time that they spared to us and I think we will be doing a great job. We are expecting a lot of people to be hired from them. Let's see. It was a great experience altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From entering into the cyber tower to exiting out of this tower, the XLR team has been received me with such a care and pleasure.
I am the part of this XLR since 4 months. From the third month itself, they have conducted the placement sessions from the third month itself, and this is the fourth month, and this is the 90th percentile is one of the placement drive I have attended so far, and attending to this drive is such a good experience for me. All the HRs and the team made us feel very comfortable and confident.
XLR helped me a lot and I experienced a lot of things today. So I'm really hope to be I placed in that company. I'm confident about that. Thank you.
Yeah, very warm good evening to each and everyone who is in the room. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, so my dear participants, we are crossing 800. So I can see your enthusiasm about our everyday learning student development programs. I just request to everybody in the room, please ask your friends and your classmates to join the session at the earliest, because we are we are reaching our Zoom's full capacity. So I just request and appeal to all the participants, those who are getting technical glitch while getting to this Zoom, they can, they are suggested and requested to switch to YouTube Live. We are also live on YouTube. And just don't worry about your attendance, because we will be sharing this attendance and feedback link on YouTube Live as well. So almost we are reaching 900. Thank you, Muhammad Yunus. Thank you. Yeah, so great. So I can see your enthusiasm in the chat box. Okay, so we are reaching our full capacity. So once we reach 1000 capacity, that is our maximum capacity. So all are requested who are trying to get into this Zoom session, they are requested to please switch to YouTube Live. Amar, I would like to request you, please post our YouTube Live link in the chat box so that no participants can miss our day one session. Yeah, that's great. So we are crossing 970. All right, guys. I again request to all the participants, your friends, your classmates are trying to get into this Zoom. Please request them to switch to YouTube Live. We are live on YouTube as well. So don't worry about if you are not get into this Zoom session, they are requested to switch to YouTube Live. Boom. So we got the full capacity now in the Zoom. Yeah. So again, I request all of you, please switch to the YouTube Live so that you will not miss anything from this training program, Python programming and SQL. All right, guys. Yeah. So Amar, can we go ahead?
Yes, we'll start now.
Okay. So first of all, let me share my screen. Please confirm me in your chat box whether my screen is visible to you or not. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible, guys.
Oh, yes, it's visible for me.
That's great. I can see the comments in chat box. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for your reply. Yeah, please type Y if you can see my screen. You can just type Y. Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Thank you each and everyone who is posting the messages in the chat box. Yes, I can see your enthusiasm. Yeah, again, very good evening to each and everyone who is joined in the session in the Zoom link as well as on YouTube Live. Thank you for your uh, uh, great response in the chat box. Yeah, so let's get started. My name is Irfan from Everyday Learning, MOU Division. So it's an honor to address you today about XLR. You can see on your screen, Everyday Learning, faculties and colleges. So let me introduce you about XLR first. As I said that I'm very much honored to address you today about XLR, a pioneering company in the training and consulting space. Throughout the years, since 2014, we have extended our reach globally, providing high quality classroom and online training to students and working professionals. Our headquarters is in Houston, United States of America, along with our strong presence in Malaysia and India. Specifically, while talking about India, so we are physically operating from 6 locations in India. Bangalore is our headquarters, which is in Karnataka. Then we have other physical office in Hyderabad, Cyber Tower. We have 2 locations, 2 offices in Pune, Maharashtra. Mumbai, we have 2 locations, and we have recently operating from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So these locations reflects our commitment to transcending geographical boundaries, making a top-notch education accessible to all. The expertise of our passionate team spans various domains such as data science, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, digital marketing, Internet of Things, blockchain, full stack development, so on, so forth. So the list is very large. Having successfully trained numerous individuals worldwide, you can see on your screen, we have been trained 350,000 plus students and professionals so far. At XLR, we uphold a commitment to excellence in all aspects, from the quality of our training programs to the support we offer to our dear students. Whether you are a student looking to enhance your skills or you may be a professional aiming to advance your career, we have tailored training programs for you. For exploring more about XLR, you can visit us at www.xlr.com, and you can also follow us on various social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., etc. Amar, can you please post our website as well as the social media handles in the chat box so that our students can follow us on the same?
Yeah, sure. I'm posting that.
Thank you, Amar. Moving on, let's talk about let's delve into the significance of industry partnership. So I'm very happy to share with you that XLR is collaborated near about 450 plus IT industry. And XLR is very fortunate to collaborate with the industries like Infosys, IBM, then Oracle, Tech Mahindra, you can see on your screen. Ensuring we stay at the forefront of technological developments. So these partnerships not only grant us access to the valuable resources, but also foster association and co-creation, which enabling us to provide innovative solutions. Similarly, our academic partnerships. So very few academic partnerships we have displayed over here. But I'm very happy to share with you guys that XLR has collaborated with 1,050 plus higher education institutes across Pan India. And it is still counting. So our academic partnerships with the esteemed institutions like IIM Ranchi, TASK, of which is the government body of AP, APSSDC, Geetam, and recently we have been collaborated with Gujarat Technical Universities. So these collaborations keeps us at the forefront of innovation, offering students and faculties access to the leading minds of resources, academic resources and expertise. Academic partnerships also create a sense of community, fostering an environment of learning and growth. Moving on, now let me introduce you our everyday learning programs. Yes, everyday learning training programs, which are close to your hearts. Everyday learning offers free application-oriented learning sessions on trending technologies, which are led by industry experts. The industry, when I'm saying industry experts, so industry experts are working professionals. They are data scientists, they are data analysts, they are web developers, they are software testers, they are software engineers, etc., etc. So these sessions aim to provide relevant training and hands-on experience, delivering to our students. I also talk about the assistance for the colleges in meeting some of the standards set forth by accreditation bodies like NAC and NBA. Moving on, this is our offerings under this non-commercial MOU collaborations. So we are offering non-commercial MOU collaborations. So I appeal, rather I request to all the participants, please reach out to XLR for this type of free trainings under non-commercial MOU collaborations. I again would like to request Amar to please post our EDL email ID, the phone number, so that our students and faculty members who are attending this session can reach out for this non-commercial MOU collaboration.
Yes, I posted the EDL contact details, mobile number and email ID over Zoom and YouTube as well.
Thank you, Amar. Thank you for posting this information. Guys, let me give a half minute. I'm connecting my backup. That's it. So as you can see on your screen, so what colleges are getting under this non-commercial MOU collaborations? So they are getting industry MOU so that colleges can showcase this MOU and they can earn credit in NAC and NBA. And they can also fill the gap between industry campus and college campus. Industry webinars. So we are continuously delivering webinars to the colleges. So these webinars are also helpful to upskill the knowledge of faculties as well as students. Industry FDPs. We are consistently doing FDPs, that is faculty development program, for our MOU signed college faculties. And here, let me talk about the LMS access. So the LMS access program, or this beautiful LMS, provides a lifetime access to recorded videos, reference material, and assessments, reinforcing learning and keeping students and faculty engaged. As I said, professional training. So yes, we are delivering training sessions professionally. As I said, that our trainers are domain experts. They are working professionals in, they are working in MNCs. So they are delivering this session. At the same time, we are posting assessment and assignments on the dashboard, LMS dashboard, so that you can download it and study it. While talking about projects and internship, so for students gearing up for the projects, internship and placements, so we offer a comprehensive program under this module. And sessions on the resume building, LinkedIn profile, GitHub accounts, mock interviews, and counseling by industry experts, which equip students for the competitive job market. Lastly, before that, let me talk about this learning management system. So my friend, my colleague Amar will walk you through the entire LMS process, how to register to this LMS, how to access the recordings, and how to attend the live sessions through this, how to mark your attendance and feedback through this LMS. So he will be explaining you each and everything in detail about this LMS. Lastly, yes, so our support for colleges and universities aligns with the accreditation standards like NAC and NBA. So we provide complete assistance to help the institution meet the criteria, emphasizing our and continuous improvement. So once your college get connected with us under this non-commercial MOU, they will get all the support regarding this NAC and NBA. So in conclusion, XLR is not just a training and consulting company. It's a partner in your educational and professional journey. That's all update from my side. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And we look forward to your active participation in our EDL programs. Thank you. Thank you once again. Over to you, Amar.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction. So, dear participant, myself Amar, and I am here to give you a LMS kit. So, I hope my voice is loud and clear. If yes, confirm in the chat box. Guys, I want response on Zoom and YouTube as well. Okay? Be there, be interactive every time. So first, before starting to the LMS KT, to get the LMS access, registration is most important. I know that most of participants are already done with the registration, but if somebody is here directly without doing the registration, so I'm requesting, I'm sharing the registration link with you. Now within 1 second, please go ahead, mark your registration, then you will also get the LMS access by tomorrow. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Yes, good. Okay, guys, thank you. So I will start with the LMS KT and I'm sharing my screen. Once it's visible, let me know. Are you able to see? Just quick 5-6 responses. Good. Thank you. So guys, before starting the KT, you should to know that what is the LMS? So LMS is the learning management system and it's XLR online portal. Okay. What is the use of that portal? To get the recorded session, to mark your attendance, to give the assessment, to access the material. And the most important thing is the LMS access is with you for lifetime. Okay. You can access that anytime. So how to do a verification and sign into the LMS? So once you're done with your registration part, you receive a 2 email. If you are first time user of the XLR solutions, then definitely you receive a 2 email. And if you're second time user of XLR, you receive 1 email. So first email is welcome to XLR, verify your account. What we have to do in this mail? So here we mention the verification link. If you are able to see my screen, in that we mention the verification link. What is the use of that? Click on that link and set your password. So here, click on that link. It will take you through the next page. Here, you're able to see the set your password. Set your password, whatever password you want, type it here. Confirm same password here. Set my password. Done. You're done with your password setting system. Again, you are received one more email. Okay, course invitation email. Be like course invitation emails, be like XLR is welcoming you to the Python programming and SQL training program. SQL or SQL, whatever you want, you can take it up. Okay. So here we mention the URL of our LMS, and our URL is onlinelearning.xlr.com. If you click here, it will take you through the sign in page. Here we mention the sign in. Click on sign in, and here on the login page, you have to mention your email ID. The email ID which you use at the time of registration. Don't go for the mobile number because we used to give the access via email. So go for the email and the password. Which password? Hey, in the first email only, you set the password, right? So you have to give that password. Click on login. Directly, it will take you through the home page. So let me reshare my screen. I will show you how it's really work. Okay. So I'm sharing screen once again. Guys, don't share the messages now. I will take all of your question once I'm done with my KT. So be there, focus here. Okay. 1 minute. Guys, you're my home page. You're able to see that? Yes. Okay, thank you. So first, I will show you the ways of joining the session. So first thing, join via Zoom or else join via YouTube. So in your screen, see, I am on home tab. Don't forget that. I am on home tab, and on the home tab at right hand side, you are able to see a today's session tab. Okay, in today's session tab, if you scroll down, let me refresh it once. Okay, in today's session tab, okay, it's 1 minute, it's taking a load. Okay, so you are able to see the Python programming and SQL day 1. Okay, so in this, you are able to see the join button. If you click on join button, it will take you through the Zoom. That's it. Every day, if you come here at 6:50, you are able to see the join button. Simply, you have to click on join. It will take you to the Zoom. If you are facing any difficulty, first difficulty is that our Zoom capture is 1000. Okay, so you have to join the session via YouTube. No need to miss the session because, hey, I'm not able to join via Zoom, so I missed the session. It is not a part. So as a backup, we are live on YouTube as well. If you scroll at upper side above the today session tab, you are able to see one banner. Join our 30 hours free training program on Python programming SQL. Click on that. It will take you through the YouTube live. Whatever the things are going over the Zoom, all things you will get here. Okay. And second thing, like if you say, I'm not going to get that link, and what about the material, all whatever the support you required, we'll share here. Attendance link, each and everything will share here in the live chat. Okay. Now, coming back, and the next procedure is that to access the recording. So in the continue learning tab, if you scroll down, don't worry about the other classroom, as I have all classroom access, so it's able to see. But if you have Python programming SQL, just we search for that. Let's allow me 2-3 seconds. Yes, here. Python Programming and SQL. Okay, XLR Everyday Learning Program commencing from the 27th November. So today is 27th November. To access the recording, click on this classroom. And in the curriculum tab, first tab is feedback response. So here we mentioned, please submit your attendance and feedback here. So guys, why attendance and feedback is important? First thing, to get the certificate, 60% attendance is mandatory. Each and every day, you have to mark your attendance. I am explaining one more time. 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate of participation from XLR. So on a daily basis, you have to mark your attendance, but see, now you're not able to see the form because we mentioned the attendance link will only open between 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Now you have to come at 8:30 p.m. You have to mark your attendance. Second thing, lots of students will say, hey, I just now registered. I don't have LMS access. What to do? Don't worry. At 8:30, I will share the attendance link over Zoom and YouTube. So you can focus on the session. Okay. But going forward, from tomorrow onwards, try to go through the LMS. Give your attendance from the LMS. Okay. Now coming back to the recorded sessions, below the feedback response tab, we have session recordings. In that day one, click on day one. Click on play button. At 8:30, I will share the. Now we're starting with the day one. Day one recording is there. Day 2, day 3, day 15. Up to day 15, all recordings will be here only. Okay. Coming back to the materials, whatever the material is going to use by trainer, we upload each and every PPT, each and every PDF, each and every code here only. That's the simplest way to get all these things, to submit the response, to watch the recordings, to access the material. Now, few participant already attended few of the courses from the XLR. They have the LMS access, but on their dashboard, these courses are not visible. So don't worry. Go in the store, search for Python Programming Classroom. You will get there. Just enroll for that. Okay, that's it. So now if you have any query or question, let me know. I will take it up. Okay. Okay, if your participant asking me for the registration link once again, I will share that. 1 minute. Guys, if it's clear, let me confirm in the chat box. If it's not clear, still confirm in the chat box. Okay. Clear, sir. Clear, clear. No doubt. Good. Good to see. Few participants are saying, like, I registered but not received the email. If you are done with your registration just now, don't worry. By tomorrow afternoon, you will get the access. Okay. Those who are saying not clear, don't worry. In the last 5 minutes, I will be there. We'll solve your questions. So now, without investing that much time, I know that all of you are waiting to hear the trainer. So Hemant, owes to you. You can take it forward, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Amar. So yes, my name is Hemant, and I will be your trainer for this session, where we'll be going through Python and SQL, both of them, right? Hold on. Before everything, is my audio all clear? Yeah. All right. Great. Thank you so much for confirming. And let's get started. Okay. I'll be sharing my screen. Let me know when it is visible. Yeah, guys? Yep. Can you please confirm if it is visible? Visible. Yes, sir. Perfect. Thank you again. Right. So you are at day one of Python programming, where we are going to be learning the basics of Python to understand why we need Python, what exactly it is going to help us with, right? So, where can we make use of this? And what are the kind of opportunities that we can find after learning this course, right? Cool then. So we are going to be heading to the slideshow mode. Okay, right. So first things first. So Python is a high-level interpreted programming language. So what do we mean by interpreted programming language, right? So you must have dealt with other programming languages like C, C++, correct? So where the entire code is taken directly and it is compiled, right? But with Python, what happens is it is it is read line by line by the interpreter. Okay, there is something called as the interpreter, which is which is present. That is going to take your Python script or the source code. We call it as the source code, and which will be written in a .py extension file. So any file name .py extension. What is an extension? It is nothing but what we see at the end of the file, right? It could be .txt, .pdf, .jpg, and so on. So similarly, Python has a .py extension. Okay, so this is nothing but a text file containing a human readable instruction, right? So the human readable instruction means that Python is so friendly, very user friendly that you can easily read it. So if you look at C or C++, it is kind of difficult to understand what is happening, just looking at it. But Python is like looking at a book, just reading it in English. So that is how simple they have made it with Python. Okay, this is actually one of my favorite programming languages. So I've worked with multiple programming languages, and Python is one of the highly rated, if you ask me. Okay, so we were talking about the interpreter. So with C++ or Java, where the language is compiled, taking the entire file, it is going to be compiled into machine code before execution. Python runs a little different, right? So it takes each instruction one by one, and it is going to interpret. Okay. So then there is bytecode compilation and then execution by virtual machine. So we are not going to complicate it too much, right? Today is all about introduction, and we are going to keep it as simple as possible to get a brief understanding of what Python does, right? So as you can see, it is known for its simplicity, readability, and versatility. So simplicity and readability is, it is as simple as writing in English, right? That is the simplicity. And readability is the same. Python code is very easy to read. You don't have to really think too much to understand what is happening in the code. And versatility is where Python can be used for multiple aspects, not just one or two things. It can be used in variety of tasks, which we are going to look at later. Okay. So it was created in the late 1980s, but it was released officially in the year 1991. Okay. So it is not a very new programming language. It is a seasoned programming language which has gone through several versions and improvements as well. Okay, so the primary emphasis of Python is to write easy to understand and easy to read, clean code. Okay, that's about a brief of it, right? So we can see that these are the key features and characteristics of Python. Okay. First is, as we learned, the simplicity and readability. So to expand this, Python syntax is very clear and concise, which will promote the readability. And it uses something called as indentation. Indentation is nothing but the spacing, proper spacing. So if you look at any block of code, if it doesn't have a proper structure, do you think you will be able to read it properly? Definitely not, right? It is the emphasis that has been put into the structure of the code where we talk about indentation, proper block, the spacing within the block structure. Okay, which enhances the code aesthetics. Aesthetics is nothing but it has to look good. It has to be um, easy to read, easy to understand, right? And at the same time, it actually looks appealing to look at the code. So next is the dynamic typing. Python is it's called as a dynamically typed language where the variable types are determined at runtime. It doesn't happen at compile time. Okay, so everything will happen at runtime. So generally, if you have observed with other programming languages where you get errors during the compile time, right? It hasn't run yet, but during the compile time itself, you get the errors. But here, only when you run the program, you will get to know what sort of issues are there in this. Okay. Then it offers the flexibility, but it also maintains the strict type checking. Okay. So Python is a little flexible, but it will maintain the strict type checking. What does that mean? So we have something called as data types. Generally, when you're programming, you are dealing with the data types. 1 second. Is there any difficulty in hearing me? Okay. So, okay, maybe your volume is down. Please take a look at it. I just saw a message. Anyway, let's continue. So the type checking, right? So we have a lot of data types generally, and sometimes when there is a mismatch in the data types, could be numeric, it could be a string, right? Or it could be anything else, Boolean, or so there are many of them. So you do not have to worry about making the mistake because it is going to point it out to you. Okay. Then there is an extensive standard library. So what is a library? A library is nothing but a set of code. It contains multiple functionalities where you don't really have to rewrite them. Okay. So when you're working on a project, you don't have to sit and worry about the simplest tasks. It could be the encryption or decryption. You don't really have to write a function specifically for that. There will be libraries which will help you out in that. You don't have to write a function to generate random numbers, right? So you don't have to write a function to generate random strings. So all of them will be present within a library. So this is a simple example for what a library is. And Python offers many of them so that you don't sit reinventing the wheel and you can focus on the actual business tasks. Okay. Right. And then it is a highly interpreted language, which we already know, and it is executed line by line without a separate compilation step. A compilation step is minimized as opposed to the other programming languages. It also facilitates the rapid development and testing as well. Okay, with Python, it is quite easy to develop applications as opposed to the other programming languages where you have to import a lot of things, where you have to write a lot of code to do the simplest of the things. Python offers a rapid development and as well as testing. So when we talk about testing, if there are any testing enthusiasts here, you must also know that Python can be used to automate things. So automation is a very common thing when it comes to testing, right? Because you don't want to sit and test every single feature that is available. So you can write a script which is going to help you with that. Python can be your own personal assistant. Then we have a cross-platform compatibility, similar to programming languages like Java. Python as well has the cross-platform compatibility, right? So it is also known as platform independent, where Python can be employed onto different devices, different platforms because of Python virtual machine. Similar to Java, Java virtual machine, Python also has a virtual machine which is going to help you with the platform independence. You can run on any device. Okay. So you can easily run, for example, it could be Windows, it could be Mac OS or Linux as well. And none of these require any modification. For certain programming, you have to modify the code so that it runs properly on that particular platform, but not with Python. Okay, it's pretty simple. Then we have some automatic memory management as well. So this is going to help us with the garbage collection. Garbage collection is a term used in programming where you have to essentially you remove the unwanted stuff from your program, right? So the unwanted stuff can be as simple as a variable which is unused, right? So if you make use of a variable, a simple variable to store a value, and you do not need it anymore, right? When I say you, the program doesn't require it anymore. So everything works automatically, right? It can be removed automatically as well. Then, which eliminates the need for manual memory allocation and deallocation. Okay, if you're studying computers, you will have this memory allocation concepts where your system contains some memory to hold some data, right? So this has to happen generally manually, but Python does it all automatically. Okay, and it is highly versatile because it is widely used across different industries and domains, right? It could be banking, it could be defense, it could be literally anything. Python is used. Okay, and the applications, they include web development apps, that is web applications, and it can be used in data science, which is a buzzword these days, right? Data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and so on. So all of these make use of Python within that, right? And as well as automation, which we already spoke about. Okay, I hope it's all clear till here. Any questions, guys? Any technical difficulties? Please answer on the chat box so that I can get to know. Okay, sounds good. Well, so let's jump on to the opportunities, right? This is what we have to know when we are learning something, or it can be anything, correct? So with Python, you can start your career as a software developer or a software engineer, right? This is something that we generally get into, right? Entry level software development roles. It could be like, coding and then testing, right? And, maintaining the code as well, right? So all of them can be within that. Afifa, you say that the volume is too low. Is it the same for everyone else? Please let me know. Okay, I can see that many of them are saying no. Clear, yes, it's audible. Cool. Please check your network and it must be fine. Okay, so let's get back. Okay, next is web developer, right? Web development is what? You're going to be writing code to create applications with frameworks like Django or Flask. You must have heard these words, right? Django, Flask, and other frameworks. So this is going to help you build web applications. And web applications are everything these days. Because what is that one thing that exists in all the devices? Take it your mobile, take it your laptop, your desktop, right? Take it your television, your iPad, both Android and iOS, right? And any platform. What is that one common application? It is the browser, right? So when that common application exists, everyone will be pushed to write applications for the web because that is the easiest way to access any application without downloading it. As long as you know the website, you just have to access the the application and start using it. That is the reason why most of them are building web applications these days. And mobile applications and desktop applications, the demand is still there. I'm not saying that it is not, but web applications are the most in demand. Okay, so as a web developer, you get a huge opportunity. Then, data analyst. So, data analyst is all in the boom these days, right? Where you crunch the numbers and you provide insights, right? Which is what the business requires. So, as long as there is some analysis happening, the trajectory of the company is going to change. So, based on the data, they are going to make the move. So, data analyst is a huge requirement these days. So, Python can be used for data analysis as well. So, with libraries like Pandas and NumPy, we can make use of it to analyze and visualize the data. So you may have a bunch of data sitting in an Excel sheet. So you can start reading that Excel sheet programmatically. So Python is going to help us out with the help of libraries. And then you have QA engineer, right? QA or the quality assurance. So this is where all the testing happens. So testing is a very important aspect for the software development. Why? Because as developers, you develop and put it out there. But what if it has bugs, right? Your success is going to be determined by the number of bugs within the application. So therefore, we have a role for quality assurance engineer. So this engineer is going to be writing scripts to automate the testing processes. So for example, there is a form which has to be filled and submitted, right? So instead of filling it multiple times, you can write a script to automatically fill the form with random data every time and submit it. So a form can have multiple validation, right? So all of them can be tested out. It could be as simple as how many characters can I actually input in this form? Can I input 10? Can I input 0? Can I input 50? Can I input 500 and 5,000? Doesn't really matter. Testing is a huge scope as well. So all those can be done with the help of Python. Okay. Then you have DevOps engineer. So DevOps, it's also another booming role these days. DevOps, DevSecOps, and all that. So here as well, you can make use of Python, which is going to help you again with automation. So you can see that the keyword is automation. So Python is going to automate a lot of day-to-day tasks, which you generally execute, every day or every week or whatever it may be, right? You just have to just click on it and execute. Okay. So for DevOps, it can be used to automate your deployments and management of the cloud infrastructure as well. Okay. So that's not it, right? There are more, more opportunities. So we have technical support engineer, where Python can be used to troubleshoot and solve the technical issues. Specifically, let's say that you're working on a product, right, or a service. So using scripting, you can troubleshoot the issues. Okay, and then you have IT support specialist. Okay, so IT support is sometimes confused with the technical support. So both are different. Here we talk about it could be the infrastructure, it could be the networking, such as, it could be system monitoring, log analysis, so something like that. Here, IT support specialist also will be using Python. So what is happening within the organization, right? Are there people, trying to attack the system? Are there people trying to access the sites which are malicious in nature, which may contain viruses or malware, right? So you can make use of it for the IT support as well, right? And then you have data scientists. Okay, specifically, if you're going as an entry level, you'll get a junior data scientist role. Okay, sometimes it is just a data scientist or an associate as well. Okay, so here there will be tasks like data cleaning. Part of data science is data cleaning, data analysis, right? And then machine learning projects. So stuff like that. So it's pretty evident that data science makes use of Python, right? So data science contains machine learning and AI. So AI is a part, machine learning is a part of AI, where you develop models. For example, a very fine model that we have these days, and something that we have been hearing every day, right? It is GPT, right? The GPT model, which was built using the same technology, right? We can build models like that and many more. Okay, so you can work as a research assistant, where this can be a work on academic or sort of a research setting, right, where you'll be working on mostly mathematical operations, crunching a lot of complicated numbers, right? Complicated operations can be achieved with this. Okay, and as well as you can simulate something. So what do you mean by simulation, right? It is where you replicate an environment, right? Replicating an environment or a system. So you can make use of it for simulation and also other research related tasks. Okay. So then you also have a entry level consultant, with it's a valuable in consulting roles, right? Many companies hire people as consultants. Okay, so it is mostly the software development itself. Okay, I hope it is all clear. Any questions? Okay, I can see that there is a question QA towards QA. So what kind of work towards QA is? What is quality analysis? So there is going to be a set of developers who are going to work on a feature, okay, or they are going to, let's say that they create an application, okay. Imagine that you are a quality assurance engineer. Your job is to ensure that the application works according to the requirements. Okay. So take an example of a simple form, a login form. So where you have to input an email or a phone number, and then you have to input your password. Okay. So in this, you can find a lot of scenarios as a quality assurance engineer. So take an example of the email field itself. Can I just enter any random string, random text, and pass it off as an email without having a proper email structure? Can I do that? Right? If the coding is not very proper, if there is no validation, it can easily be done. You can just pass XYZ and it will be taken as email. But is it a valid email? Of course not. Right? And then, excuse me. And then with password, when you're trying to register your account using a password, you have seen you must input a minimum string of 8 characters or more. You must include capital letters, that is uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and also include symbols, that is the special characters, and also the numerical values. So all those can be validated to check whether the password can be, the password that is entered is matching all the specifications. Okay, that you can do it manually. How are you going to do it manually? That is by entering them one by one. You are going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then check. Okay, that doesn't work. Next, you are going to input A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all lowercase. Input. Then it should not be taking it. Then capital letter and small letter, include both of them along with the numerics. Still, it should not check. It should not be taken. And then you include the special characters. Only then it should work. So all these you tested about 5 scenarios, imagine. Okay, you did all of those manually. But with automation, that is through Python, you can automate everything to do at once. You don't really have to type anything at all. Okay, you can program it in a way where the input can be given. The input can be given to the field all by the script itself. And you are just sitting and watching it, right? But your job is to write that code which is going to do all the magic, right? Which you are going to learn with the help of this course. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Tanu. Next, I can see DevOps. Okay, DevOps. Okay. I can see that it is a fairly new terminology for many of them. So DevOps role is nothing but you create your application. Okay, you test your application, everything is done. Then it has to be deployed somewhere, right? Somewhere. Where is that somewhere? It could be the cloud. Cloud is what in this case? It could be AWS, Amazon Web Services, or Azure, or any other server, basically, right? So a person who is working as DevOps is going to help you to push the code into the right space, that is to the server. Okay, so it is not just about pushing the code, it is about verifying whether everything is fine. It is about checking if there are any errors, if the application is breaking, right? And it is about maintaining the same application online. So, for example, let's say that XLR website is up and running over there. Okay. So it is the job of the DevOps engineer to ensure that XLR is running 24/7. It is about keeping it available 24/7 so that anyone can access it. Okay. It is not that you work 24/7, but your job is to ensure that it is working 24/7. So with the use of Python, you are going to be writing a lot of scripts, which is going to help you with different parts. So I'll just give you a simple example. Let's say that XLR goes down as in the website is crashed. So with the help of DevOps, everyone who is working on XLR website can get a notification directly saying that the website is down. They will be immediately notified, right? So it is about ensuring that your application which is deployed is working properly and it is maintained properly. So on the server which you deploy, there will be a lot of stuff to be done. It could be like setting up the environment for your Python, right? Installing the right packages, right? It, or any kind of assets that it requires. So as a DevOps engineer, you will be facilitating all of these, right? So you will be working in tandem with your quality assurance engineers and also the developers as well. Okay, DevOps is a significant role these days. Okay, I hope again that answers your question, Tanu, and also Spandana. Any other questions? Okay, right. So I guess it is about 8 o'clock. Okay, why don't we take a quick five minute break? Yeah, and we can resume at 8:10. Okay. All right, everyone. I hope you're all back. Are we good to go? Shall we get started? Type in yes if we are good to go. All right. So next, we are going to learn about the programming cycle of Python, right? So just like your software development life cycle, the the Python programming language also has a programming cycle. So first things first, it all starts with writing the code. So you are going to make use of an editor. It could be a simple text editor or an integrated development environment or an IDE. So using any of these, you can write the code. We will be talking about IDEs next. You don't have to worry about it, right? So this is going to be a .py file, which can be executed, as we already discussed. Then next comes the compilation. Compilation is, it doesn't really exist, correct? Because Python is an interpreted language. So therefore, the code is executed line by line. So there is actually no compilation in there. Next, you have the execution, which is done by the Python interpreter, where it reads the code, it processes it, and produces the output. So it is going to read your code, which is in human readable format, then process it to the machine readable format, and then produces the output. So you are essentially trying to communicate with your computer, right? And your computer is not going to understand English. It is going to understand the machine level code, so which is going to be taken care by the Python interpreter. Next, you have your debugging, where debugging is the process where you are going to identify and fix the errors, or you can also call them as bugs. So it is a very commonly um, heard terminology, bugs. So bug is nothing but an error within your code, which is making your code not execute properly as per the desired requirement. Okay, it could be as simple as your registration form not working on click of submit, right? That can be a bug. Or your registration form is not able to take your phone number, okay? Or it is taking phone number as 123. That can be taken as phone number. That is also a bug. Even though it is not shown as an error, it is a bug. Okay. So next is the debugging process. So Python has tools like print statements and other debugging libraries, which is going to help you with this. So we are going to be dealing with a lot of print statements because we want to know what is happening within your code. Okay. Then testing. So after you have coded your program, after the execution is done, and you have debugged the program as well, you are going to be testing it. Okay, testing it to ensure that it is working as expected. So testing is not a small concept, right? It contains unit testing, contains integration testing, functional testing, and many more. Regression testing. Okay, these are the terminologies which you are going to be learning when it comes to testing. You are going to take your application and test it one by one, part by part. Okay, so that is called as a unit test. And you are going to integrate everything, that is, combine everything and test it one more time. This is an integration testing. Okay, and then you have regression testing. Let us say that you have tested something, but the developer creates a new functionality which will be added into the application. So let's take CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA, you must have heard, where it is going to verify whether you are a human or a robot. It is a very common thing out there, right? So the developer integrates CAPTCHA into your form. So you are going to do the regression testing there to ensure that the whole form is not breaking after adding the CAPTCHA into the form. So that can happen where you add something new, but essentially end up breaking the entire system, which is why we need the regression testing. And then we have other kind of testing as well, smoke testing and so on, which are the depths of testing. Okay, then you have documentation. Documentation may be the most boring part of anything, but it is also the most important part of programming, because whatever you have written as a code must be understood by other developers, because you are not the only developer out there, right? And your code must be understood by someone so that they can make the changes to it if required. Doesn't mean that every single line will be changed, but they have to understand your code to make the changes. And let's say you write the code today, but come back after a year looking at the same code, you may not understand it yourself because you have not properly documented it. Okay, so what do we mean by documentation? It could be as simple as creating a document to say what each file or each functionality does. That is one thing. And within the code, you can create comments which talks about the file in use or the functionality in use, what this variable does, what this function does, or the method does. Why have we imported this library? Right? What is the output going to be? What is the desired output? You can write any of these as a documentation, right? When you do this, and it is one of the best practices which are followed by all the major leaders, major IT leaders, because they will have more people working on their systems and they want everyone to understand it, right? Even though it seems boring, but we have to and we must do it. As developers, that is our duty. That is the code. Okay. Then we have the maintenance phase. Maintenance phase is when you update something, you make bug fixes or any sort of improvements to the code. So you must have seen that there are different versions for any applications, right? So these versions will come with their own release notes. If you have looked at a release note of any application, you can see what has been done, what are the updates, what are the bug fixes, what have been improved, right? Some of them they say we have improved the speed. No? We have fixed this bug, right? And we have updated certain features, right? So that is the maintenance part. Okay. And Python, it is so simple that it can make the maintenance easier. Then we have the deployment. Deployment, as I said, you are going to be coding it, testing it, and putting it somewhere on the internet so that your users can interact with your application, right? That is the deployment part, where you are going to package your code. Package as in you are going to write the code and bundle it into a deployable solution where you can distribute it across the cloud or anywhere that you want to use. right? Then it becomes a easily, uh, you know, it can be easily transported, okay, from your machine to the cloud. So that is what we mean. So the code from your machine, your laptop or your desktop will be put into the cloud so that others can use. That is what we mean by deployment. Okay. Hope the programming cycle is clear. Any doubts in this? Before we move on to the next topic, okay, all clear, I can see. Right. So let's talk about the integrated development environments or the IDEs. So IDEs are nothing but software applications which can be installed on your operating systems. Okay, so they are a way to execute your Python code. Okay. So popular ones are PyCharm, VS Code, or Visual Studio Code. You must have heard one of these at least, because VS Code and Jupyter, they are all very popular out there. Okay, then we have Jupyter Notebook. Then we have IDLE, or the Integrated Development and Learning Environment. Okay, and then we have Spider. Okay, each of them have its own features. Right, each of them have its own perks. So with PyCharm, it is sort of a feature-rich IDE which will help you with debugging. It's got excellent debugging capabilities and also code analysis. You can analyze your code to optimize it. So PyCharm is going to be helpful in that. Okay. Then you have VS Code. VS Code is free. It is open source and it comes with a lot of extensions. What do we mean by extensions? Extensions are something that is going to make your development easier, right? It is going to be helpful for you in the development process. It could be as simple as highlighting the code, testing the code, right? Deploying the code, right? All of those can be used as extensions. There are quite a lot of them, which we'll be talking about later, right? And it is highly customizable. So VS Code is hugely customizable with its extensions, with its theming, its configuration, and everything, right? Not only Python, it can run other programming languages as well. So VS Code is going to help you with a lot of things. Okay. Then we have Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is amazing. Trust me, it is amazing for data science and machine learning, because since it is, first things first, it is open source and it is a web application. Okay, it doesn't require an application to be created within your operating system. It opens on your browser itself. Okay, within the browser you get your Jupyter Notebook and you can start executing the code line by line or block by block, whichever you feel like. And it also helps you to create and share documents which contain live code, contains equations, visualizations, and other narrations as well. Okay, so live code, as in you can work on it together with your team, right? So that is hugely helpful with that. Then we have IDLE. IDLE is something that nobody prefers, right? Because it is something that comes in bundled along with Python. And it is a very simple IDE which is suitable for beginners, right? You just want to test your Python, Python writing, or anything, right? So you don't really sit and code using idle. Then you have Spider, which is also great for scientific computing and also data analysis, right? So you can see that each of them have their own perks. So for us, we are going to be extensively using Jupyter Notebook, which is going to work out really great for us to easily share the code, easily execute the code one by one to understand, right? So you can execute code one after the other with your own pace. You can either choose to execute all of them or block by block to understand what each block does, right? Before moving to the next block, you can understand what the previous block did so that you are up to the speed with the execution, right? So Jupyter is the one for us. Okay. And talking about Jupyter, the same exists on Google. We call it as Google Colab. Okay, so this can be an online solution. So Google Colab gives its own resources. It is going to give you its own RAM. It doesn't take the RAM from your system, right? And as well as the GPU, right? So GPU is the graphics unit, which is going to help you with a lot of complex computation. So many of us, we can think that GPU or the graphics unit is just used for gaming. No, when it comes to Python, it is all about crunching complex amount of data, complex data types, right? A huge amount of data is what I mean. And the calculations or the computations involved in this is tremendous, which your CPU cannot generally handle. Okay. And GPUs can be like 1,000 times better and faster than your CPUs. Okay. So that is the power of a GPU when it comes to Python programming. Okay. Right. So these are the features of any Python IDEs. So one is the code editor, of course, where you write your code, right, which has some syntax highlighting. Right, syntax highlighting is when you'll understand it when you start writing the code, right? It is going to color code certain keywords so that you can easily understand what is happening. Not everything's going to be just black and white. No, there will be color coding to make it easier. Then you have code completion. Code completion is a very up and coming feature that you must have seen, which is going to help you. Like, let's say that you type just few characters and it is going to complete the code. It could be as simple as completing the variable name. You type in 3 characters of the variable name and it is going to give you a suggestion saying that, did you mean this? And you can select that. So why do we use this? It is just to make our lives easier as developers. Because as developers, you're not going to be typing every single thing, right? As a developer, your job is to understand the business requirements and solve the problems, right? And coding is your tool. And the more efficient your coding is, the better your work is going to be, the output is going to be, right? So that is why we make use of all these tools. So code completion and as well as error checking. So you may say, I wrote some 100 lines of code. How am I going to check each and every line, right? You can, of course you can if you have the patience, but the code editor is going to help you identify where the error is, right? We were talking about indentation earlier, right? Python is all about indentation and representing your code in a proper format, right? So if you miss the indentation anywhere, there can be an error. and your IDE is going to pop it up in red and say, hey, this is where the error is and what exactly the error and how you can solve it as well. Right? That is the feature of IDE. But can you do the same with the .txt file, just a text file? Of course not. Correct. You can write the, of course, you can write the code with the .txt file and then uh, make it into a Python file and run it. But it's not going to help you with any of these, which is why we make use of IDEs. Okay, so that is about code editor. Next is the debugging tools. Debugging tools are going to help us to understand where the application might be breaking, where the issue might be arising from, right? So it is going to help us with built-in debuggers, and we can add breakpoints. Breakpoints are ones where you can select any lines and any line and add break over there. And your execution, when you run the code, it is going to stop at that breakpoint so that you can just stop the programming and analyze it to understand if there is anything going wrong. Okay, this is specifically used to debug. Debug is nothing but removal of bugs. Okay, then we have project management. Project management is not the one that you might be having. So this is where your code can be organized into projects. Okay, any project can have multiple files, multiple Python files, could be the images, assets, right? Could be audio, video, could be CSV file, could be a text file, video, your MP4 or anything, right? Everything can be organized into a proper project where it is organized under a neat folder structure. That is a feature of IDE. Next, it has the version control integration. So you must have heard of GitHub, right? It is a very popular platform where you can push your code and as well as retrieve the code. So why do you push the code? It is a method of saving it. So you might code it in your laptop, but your colleague may not have the access to the same code, right? What was the alternate solution? You take a pen drive, right? You copy the code, pass it to them. They are going to code on top of it, finish it, and then pass it back to you, and you are going to do it on top of it, right? But that is the most horrendous thing that you can do as a developer, right? A lot of things can go wrong. You may not know what are the changes made, right? What if you make 50 lines of changes? Are you going to remember all of them? Of course not, right? So that is when a version control system like Git will come into the picture. So this is going to help you with creating a collaborative development environment where multiple developers can work on the same project. They can work on the same files and they can just push the code. We call them as pushing the code from your system to the central repository. Central repository is nothing but a storage from which other developers also can pull the code. Pulling is the retrieval of code. Okay, then of course you have the extensions. Extensions are nothing but your plugins which will enhance your functionality based on the needs. Okay. I hope it is clear till here. Any questions? Python or C, which is more important nowadays? Okay, that's an interesting question. Okay, so C is used for different purposes, and Python is used for different purposes altogether, right? And the usage of C can be done in legacy systems, right, where you are doing a lot of low level coding. Low level is close to machine level, right, where you have a lot of control over your programming. You can do your own memory management, right? You can do a lot of stuff within that. But these days, what are the kind of applications that you're seeing? For example, take Google, take take Facebook or Instagram, right? So they are going to be, they won't be coded with C, right? Because you can't really do it. It requires its own, set of functionalities, which will be difficult to do in other programming languages. So over there, you make use of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so on for the front end. And Python is going to be helpful when you are creating the backend for it. Okay, backend where you are going to be using it within the server to store the data, to retrieve the data, or to do any sort of calculations, right? So if we are talking about Instagram, so you have your sections there where you display your stories, you display your feed, your instant messaging section, and all those. Correct. So all of them are the front end part, which are developed with the front end technologies. Could be like React. So it is mostly done with React.js. Okay. But the backend can involve a programming language like Python, okay, where all your stories are saved, all the videos are saved in the backend, right? All your messages are saved. So from here, from the Python component, you are going to send it back into your front end. Correct. So that's mostly how it works. So that is where I would like to say that Python is the popular one. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And then I can see that, yes, Python can be used for game coding. Yes, Python can be used for it. Okay. And okay, what is the best IDE to practice Python? So as I said, all of them have their own advantages. Correct. So for your use case, you can start with Jupyter Notebook. That is the simplest, and also it is the most popular out there. Even Google have built their own version of the Jupyter Notebook called as Google Colab. So you can understand that which one is popular in this. Jupyter is, of course, popular. And Visual Studio Code is also helpful, but preference will be given to Jupyter as it is highly intuitive and very, very easy to use. Okay. Right. Any more questions? Yes, the notes will be provided to you guys, and as well as the presentation, so that you can go through them regularly whenever you want. And if there are any doubts, the notes can clarify you, or you can come back to me so that I can clarify your doubts. Okay. Either way, it is going to help you out. Okay. Both Jupyter and Colab need internet. Only one of them requires the internet, that is Google Colab. Why, if you ask me, is because Google Colab is going to provide you with its own runtime. Okay. When I say its own runtime, it is going to allocate memory for your programming, that is both temporary memory and as well as the permanent memory. both RAM and as well as the hard disk. Therefore, along with the GPU, in case your system doesn't have GPU, you can make use of Google Colab. Okay, and Jupyter is going to be your local development, where it depends on your system. Let's say that you make use of a very old laptop which has some 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. Okay, and that is all you have. That is all the resource that you have. Okay, and if it doesn't contain any graphic card, so there is no GPU at all, right? But the other way around is you can have a very powerful system. Like, for example, you can have a minimum of 16 GB RAM, okay, and 4 or 8 GB graphics unit, okay, which is going to help you with, making use of the resources efficiently. And I do not mean to say that you need that kind of system to run Python. Okay, that kind of resources will be required when you're dealing with a lot of data. A lot of data, as in it could be like 500 GB of data, right, or 1 TB of data. So when you're working with data science operations and you are dealing with huge amount of data sets, that is a huge data set, then you will be requiring such kind of configuration. But otherwise, whatever that we are using in our day-to-day usage, that should be enough for learning Python. Okay. Minimum RAM required for Jupyter, it can be as simple as your 4 GB RAM. That should be enough. Okay. So I will be providing you the link and everything. First is you have to install Python, and then you will have to install Jupyter. Okay, I'll be providing you all the instructions. Do not worry. Then Python can be used to create AI assistant. Of course, guys. So AI assistants are mostly created with Python. Okay, so you guys are in the right course, if you ask me. And you can see that the data science is all of the boom these days. Those are the the keywords that you listen in every industry, and every single company wants to work on AI, right? Is my voice all clear? Any issues? Okay. Yeah, please check your network, Sagar. Fine, fine. So as I was saying, this is the most important part, guys. So if you want to catch up with the current trends, okay, with all your AI, machine learning, building chatbots, building large language models, building your own chat GPT or whatever it may be, right? Python is the way to go, right? Python is how you're going to achieve all of them, right? So once you understand this course, you will be able to get what needs to be done next, right? How you are going to approach a problem. So it could be a problem of creating your own chatbot, right? So with the understanding of the concepts from Python, you will be able to do it, right? Let's say that you want to create an automated newsletter, right? So you are trying to create a feature like this. Okay, so you can do it with Python. You want to send automated emails, you want to send automated messages to anyone, right? Be it anything, any cool feature can be attained with Python. That is how powerful it is. So I saw that there was a question what versatility means, right? So this is what I mean. So with just one programming language like Python, you can achieve tremendous amount of things. right? So that is what we mean by versatility. Okay, right. How is Python helpful in data engineering? Right. So it is going to be helpful in this for sure. Why? Because it has a module which can take files as input. So taking files as input, reading them, right? Understanding what the file contains. So take an example of a CSV file containing a lot of numerical data. Could be data comprising of all the employees, right? You can understand who is the top performer, who is the highest paid, what is the average salary, what is the median salary, right? What is the least, right? Who is underperforming, right? Who is in what team, right? Who is the manager of who, everything can be understood just by loading the file and programming, writing a few lines of scripts. Okay. So to answer, a lot of things can be done with Python and of course with the data engineering as well. Right. Okay. So let's move on with the rest of them. Okay. I hope it is clear till now. If it is, just please type in yes, and we will be good to go. Perfect. So I stopped in to take in all your questions because you will have a lot of doubts. This is just an introductory class, right? Where we are trying to understand what is the potential of Python, right? So this is just to touch base on the concepts of Python, how powerful it can be, and how can you make use of it. I showed you a lot of different kinds of opportunities. Not everyone wants to be a developer, not everyone wants to be a tester, right? Not everyone wants to be into DevOps, right? So you can choose your own career path, but for all of them, the entry point is your Python course itself, right? We are going to learn everything that Python has to offer, and from there, you can choose your path. Okay. Shraddha SQL will be beginning after the Python course is completed. That is after after day 10. Okay. Right. So we will get started with the rest of them. So variables are something that is the first thing that comes into any programming language, right? Variables are the ones which are going to help us to store the data values. Variables are created generally when you assign a value, right? So let's say it can be as simple as name equals to John. So name is the variable here, right? John is the value. We are going to be looking at the practical part as well. Okay, let us just understand the theoretical parts first. Okay, then we have the variable names which are meant to be case sensitive, right? And it can consist of letters, numbers, underscore, and it has some a rule which says that it must either start with the letter or an underscore. Okay. Right. Um, yeah, I wanted to show you this before. So go to this link, guys, and download your copy of Python. Okay, I will be sharing it in the chat box. Okay, so everyone, please go into this link. Okay, let us install Python today. Okay, this is how we begin our hands-on. 1 moment. I'm going to share that over here. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible where I have the python.org open. Yeah. So here you have a button where you can download Python for your system. So you might be using different operating systems like Windows or Linux or Mac OS or any other. So based on the operating system, you will be able to download it. So it is going to detect your operating system like this. If you're using Mac OS instead of Windows, you will have Mac OS here or Linux. Okay. So download it and install. Okay. I have it already configured in my system. So when I download it, I get to install like this. Okay. Just install it where it will take you through certain steps. Just click yes to everything and it will be installed. Okay. So I'm not installing it now because it's already within my system. So let me know if there are any difficulties in that. And once you have it, right? So you will be having the a copy of Python in your system. Okay. So you run the installer and the verification of installation will be done using this command. Okay. Python -version. Okay. So we can see this is how we verify, but where do we do it? Right. That's the question. So you just have to open your command line, okay, or your terminal, right, like this, and you just have to use this command, right? Python -version. Okay, then it returns a version. So in this case, it says 3.10.1. Okay, so when you do this, it gives you an output like this. It means that Python is properly installed. Okay, and one step that I wanted to tell you guys is as you install it, check this option which says add python.exe to path. Okay, I know that majority will be making use of Windows. Okay, so if you are making use of Python, it will do it automatically as well. And in case there is an option like this, just click on it. Okay, so when this happens, it means that it would add python.exe to your environment variables. Okay, that is when it means that Python is properly configured. Okay, so that's mostly about it. Okay, and next, this is just to have the environment in your system, guys. Just verify it because we are going to start the hands-on from tomorrow. Okay. I know that it is going to take time a little bit to configure everything in your systems. So that is why I'm giving the time for today. So we will be executing all the code right from tomorrow. Okay. So next we have the data types. Okay, the data types vary from the different kinds of data types that are integers, float, string, bool or boolean or a list. Okay, integer, it is the numerical value which makes up all your whole numbers, right, without the decimal part. Then you have your floating point numbers, right, where your decimal will be used. What is an example for a simple floating point? It could be the value of pi, right? 3.14159265, whatever it may be, right? So that is the floating point. Then you have string. String is nothing but your text data, like John, right? Alice, right? That is the string data. Then Boolean. This is something that you must have learned, right? Boolean is nothing but a binary value, which is comprising of true or false. Okay, true and false. That you must have learned the truth table for this, right? Which can help us with the logical operations. So that is where Boolean comes in. Then you have list. A list, it is a collection of values which are ordered and it can be changeable. Okay, we are going to look at the examples for this. Okay, so let me open you know the Jupyter environment as well. Okay, so to install, I will be sharing the the installation, the link for the installation. Using that, you can do it. Okay, so it is as simple as running a command on your terminal, right? So let me just pass on that link. Okay, I'll be showing you how to open Jupyter. Okay, so we have Python. The command is Python -n notebook. Okay, so this is going to open our Jupyter notebook in a browser like this. You can see that this is nothing but our browser, right? I've opened this in Chrome, where you can start creating your programs. Okay, so over here, let us create a new file. Go to File, then New, and then go to Notebook. Okay, please note down these points in case you might forget. Okay. Then you have to select the kernel. By default, we require the Python 3. We are going to be working with Python 3, not Python 2, guys. Okay, just remember, because both of them are different, a little different when it comes to the working, the features, and as well as the syntax. So whatever works in Python 3 may not work in Python 2. Okay, and vice versa. Whatever may work in Python 2 may not work in your Python 3. Okay, so let's start coding. Okay. Right. So the first thing is integer, right? We saw that these are the different data types. And how do you declare your variable? It can be as simple as writing your variable name like this, and age is, say, 25. Okay. So what it means, here age becomes your variable name and 25 becomes the value which is stored within this variable. Okay, so every time you look for age anywhere. Okay, so in the next line, I'm going to say print age. So when I execute this, it says 25. So no matter where I reference to age, okay, it is always going to say what? 25, right? So unless I make any changes to it. Okay, so that is the integer type, which is the whole number. So next is we have float. Float can be it can be some sort of price tag, right? So we are looking at float. You can't use keywords like this. It is not advised, and it may throw error as well. So these are the keywords, but I'll use price. Price is let's say 49.99. Okay, so this is a decimal value, and if you look at price now, it says that price is not defined. Okay, You might wonder what is happening. We have the price already defined. As I said, Python is an interpreted value, and this line is not yet interpreted. I did not run this line at all. So with Jupyter, you have the flexibility of skipping any block of code if you want. Okay, you can execute line number 1 and line number n if you wish to, right? But that is the flexibility that it offers. Okay. So I have to run this. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to hold shift and press enter. Okay, when you press shift enter, it executes that line and goes into the next line for execution. Okay, so now when I say print, it says 49.99. Right. Yes, Niranjan, there is no need to specify data type like you do it in C, because Python understands what kind of data type it is just by looking at the value. So it is pretty smart. So Python is here to make our lives much, much easier. Okay. So next we have, what do we have? So we can add a cell here. We call them as cells. Okay. And you can add any number of cells that you want. So for now, let's learn the string. Name is, say, Alice. Okay. So again, I'll execute this. So what happened? We got the same error because I did not execute this line. And you can see that there is some highlight here saying that this is where the error is. Okay. And it has not been executed yet. Okay. So what this says, this is how you debug, right? I was talking about, debugging. So your IDE is going to guide you where the error is. You don't really have to look at it, correct? So you can, look at the error which your IDE provides. Okay, guys, I know that it is 9 o'clock and we are supposed to end it by 9. Just give me a couple of minutes and we will be winding it up. Okay, I hope that is okay with everyone. Yeah, just a couple of minutes. Okay, we are going to learn a couple of more data types which you can try on your own in the installed version of Python. Okay, so let it be today when you start off your Python journey. Okay, so it says name, the name is not defined. Okay, so you run it and it gives you the same. Okay. No, Aryan, you don't have to execute each and every line. Okay, there is a way to execute all of them. Okay, so you can say from here, if you just hit play, right, it is going to execute this, right? So you can say run selected cell and insert below and run all cells, right? So when I do this, it is going to run all of them at once. So there is no need to run them individually, but we are running them individually so that we can understand Python bit by bit. Okay, so now we have only just one line to understand, but later when you're coding, you may have tens of lines. So you want to know what the output of each block might be, right? You might be interested in that. So therefore, that is when this feature comes in handy. Okay, so you make use of the the run option, and you can run them the way you wish to. Okay, and I can also restart my entire kernel and run them all. So what restarting means? It means all the variables will be lost. Okay, all the memory that had been allocated will be gone. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, next we have Boolean. So Boolean, generally, how are we going to write? So let's say is valid. Okay, true. So is valid true means it is valid. Is valid false means it is invalid. See, this can be X, Y, Z at the end, but you are choosing to write the code in a way that you can understand, and anyone who is dealing with the code can also understand. Okay, so this is the variable definition, right? You can see that this is how we are able to define the variable and execute them. Okay, right. So next, we have a list. Okay, so I can, 1 second, it is not visible for me. Okay. Yeah. So I can insert the cell above and also insert the cell below. You can do any of them the way you want. Okay. And you can delete the cells. Okay. And you can shift the cells, because let's say that you are executing them one by one, and line number 5 has to be executed before line number 4. So therefore you change the order of execution like this. Okay, it is as simple as this. So what would we generally do? You cut this, paste it here, you cut this, paste it here, right? Instead of all those, you can easily just move the cells above and below. Okay, so that's how it makes our lives easier. So then you have a list. Let's say you take a list of fruits. Okay, so these are the data structures which look alike. So let's take a look at how to create a list. Okay, so a list can be a collection of strings or a collection of numbers or anything else, right? So a list starts with square bracket. Okay, within that you are going to have your strings or any other data. So for writing string, you have to use your quotes, double quotes or single quotes. So how can I write a list? It will be like this. Okay, so this became a list of fruits. And if you want to see what are within my fruit list, right? And again, we missed the execution. So you can see that all these are printed. And you can store n number of data like this. See, we are just talking about example data here, but you can store n number of data, which is going to help you with the further processing. Okay, imagine that this can be your numeric data, right? Where you try to find the highest of all the salaries, right? So something like that. Okay, then you have something called as another data type called as tuple, dictionary and set, and we are going to look at it in the next class. But these are the basic data types that we got to see in today's class, and you can use this in further programming, and how we are going to look at it from tomorrow's class. Okay, right. I hope this is clear till now, how you can open your Jupyter notebook and how you can start executing, right? So first thing is you have to download using the link which has been provided. Okay. So second is, you have to install it using the command which has been listed there. Okay. So let's go into this. Say Jupyter download, and we'll go into this. Okay, and here, this is the link that I've shared. Are you guys in need of this again? By the way, sharing the link again for Jupyter. I hope everyone has the link to Python as well. Okay, right. So with this, you just have to go to your command line. Okay, like this, and let's open one more, and just copy paste this command like this. Okay, pip install Jupyter Lab. and that is going to install it like this. Okay, for me it says requirement already satisfied. You can see requirement is already satisfied, which is why it won't really do that. Okay, and for you it will be installed in case your system doesn't have pip. So if you haven't been working with Python, it will definitely not have pip in it. Okay, pip is nothing but the an entity which is going to help you with installing different libraries. Okay. Okay. So Namita, how you can check whether Python is installed or not? It is through the command that I've given, right? That is Python ---- version. So let's do that again. Python ---- version. So that is going to give you the version name. So it means that Python is installed properly. Otherwise, you will get some error. So sometimes you might have to restart your system after the installation of Python as well. Okay. So try it out today. Okay. If you don't get it, we will be, discussing it tomorrow. Okay. No need to worry. Okay. So same pip ---- version. That is going to give you the also the path of pip and also the version of pip. Okay, so that means that your pip is also installed. Okay, so with that you'll be able to install Jupyter Lab. Okay, and then what is the command that you have to run? Just note it down. Python -m notebook. That's it. So when you execute this, a Jupyter notebook will be, an instance of Jupyter notebook will be opened in your browser. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. And, this session was to make you all understand what Python can do, right? How you can leverage Python in different kinds of environment and different kinds of use cases, right? So it was more of an introductory class, and further we are going to be learning Python hands-on with a lot of concepts, which is going to help you with dealing with all the aspects that I've given an overview of today. Okay, right. Okay, I think we are good to go. Amal. Hey, Amar, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. So I guess we can wrap up the session, call it a day.
Okay, you're done?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
All done.
great. So, dear participants, I'm here for 2-3 more minutes. If you have any query or question, let me know. I will take it up. Then we'll wind up the session. I hope you're enjoying the session. If you're enjoying, give me a thumb in the Zoom. And YouTube participant, please don't forget to like the session. Okay.
See, guys, this session is going to be more interactive. It's going to be more hands-on, right? We are going to have a fun approach towards Python. Okay. We are going to create different use cases where we are going to automate a lot of things, right? And we will understand in depth what Python can do in actual, right? So when I show you a few examples, you will be good to go with creating your own set of instructions, your own scripts, right? So that is how the session is going to be. Okay, right. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining this, and thank you for bearing the extra minutes as well. I know that it is a little beyond what we had discussed, but I really appreciate the enthusiasm from everyone. Thank you.
So a few participants are asking how to join the today's session. So whatever way you use to join the today's session, same way. If you have Zoom link, the Zoom link will be same for all 15 days. If you're joining from the YouTube, definitely you can be there. Like every time we are providing the support to you. Attendance link, if any material is there, any links are there. Yes, you can join via LMS. Lots of things are there. Okay. Okay, I got the lots of thumbs. Thank you so much, guys, for your response. And one more thing, I already shared the attendance link. So please mark your attendance and I'm waiting for your feedback. Tomorrow I will check that. Okay. Sir, I attended all the classes of basics of programming. So Afifa, you already drafted an email. We checked that and we replied on the same as well. So definitely you will receive the certificate if your attendance is more than 60%. So don't worry, okay? Let me check the comments over the YouTube. Please share the agenda you are going to cover in upcoming days. Okay, so in tomorrow's session, in first 5 minutes, I will show the agenda. What we are going to cover from day 1 to day 15. Okay? Please share the yes, Priyanka. If you drop 10 message at one time, I understand that. I'm reading your question. No need to paste that message and again, okay? When we are gonna register, sir? Hey, wait, I'm sharing the registration link once again. Please don't forget to do your registration because you will get the LMS access for lifetime and will upload all the material over LMS only. Okay. Please post contact number. Going forward, if you have any query or question, not required to connect over the phone. I'm sharing the email ID edl@xlr.com. You can drop an anytime. Just for the any problem, don't do a good morning, sir, good evening, sir, good night, sir. Don't go for that. Okay. So you have any query or question, just go for the same. And you are the professionals now. After a few days, you are going to work in the corporate. So dropping an email be like perfect subject. What is the issue you are facing? If you are facing any difficulty, attach that. Be professional now. Okay. In which form we'll get our certificate and when? So today is the first day. So I will explain that. No problem. You have to finish your all 15 days with the 60% attendance. Then you will get your certificate of participation via registered email ID and it will be in a PDF format. I hope it's clear. Sir, tomorrow also live on YouTube channel. Yes, we'll be there till last day on YouTube as well. Attendance link. Okay, I'm sharing the attendance link. Hey guys, I'm getting the good response from the YouTube. Zoom people, are you sleeping? 1 minute. Students are asking for the attendance link. I'm sharing that. You're most welcome, guys. Thank you so much for such a wonderful words. No, sir, I'm listening all of this. Thank you. Do you have assessment for this course? Yes, definitely. We'll have a surprise test on any day once we comfortable that. Now we covered a lots of agenda. Definitely we'll have a surprise test. And for that surprise test, you will have a surprise gift as well at our XLR Solutions office. The session is excellent, sir. Thank you so much. The certificate is valid. Yes, definitely, yeah. We are the EduTech Private Limited. Definitely that certificate is valid. You will get the signature of our CEO and the unique certificate code as well. You can upload that over the LinkedIn. You can tag us. You can mention in your resume. Definitely that will help you to grow. Okay. Can I leave, sir? Done my attendance? Yes, guys. If you don't have any query or question, you can leave the session and we'll meet you on tomorrow at same time. Just don't be late, guys. Join on time. Then we start the session and we'll cover the lots of things in 2 hours. Okay. Sir, please send a Python and Jupyter link to download. Hemant, can you please share that with me once again in the Zoom?
Sure. Let me do that.
Session timing every day. Every day the session will be 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. We are live there on from 6:45. You can join us to share the few insights as well. Okay. WhatsApp group link. So there is no any WhatsApp. What is the requirement of WhatsApp, guys? You are going to get everything over the LMS, and for backup purpose, we are live on or else we'll be there on email, no? So don't worry. If it's reach 1K, we are not allowed to join. Then we have second option. We have to join via YouTube. Sir, will I got attendance or not? Hey, I already shared that. Do we get the recorded session in the YouTube, sir? Yes, you will. Can I get the chance to watch the class that I have missed? Is there any link or recorded video? You can visit our LMS or his YouTube channel. Sir, the class is too fast for beginners. If you're feeling that, definitely you can go through the recorded sessions, but we have also few limitations. Whatever the agenda is set, we have to cover that in the 2 hours. In our phone, can we download Jupyter link? Can we execute it on our phones? I'm not sure about that, but you can be with your system. Definitely that will help you.
No. On phone, that should not be possible. You'll have to use your desktop or your laptop.
Yeah, thank you. Soumya, so please make arrangement for your system.
Okay, if you do not have a laptop or a desktop, please borrow that from your friend so that you can learn something new, guys. This is an opportunity where you can get your hands on the knowledge easily.
Yes, correct. Okay, so guys, it's almost 9:22. So that's for the day. Again, we'll solve your question on tomorrow's session. We'll be there till day 15, so don't worry. Keep connecting, join the session on a time, and keep practicing. Okay, thank you so much.